live stream. It's a live stream doing the stuffs and the things and the stuffs and the things. 4 different things. The stuff and the things and the stuff and the things in the live stream. Because it's a live stream where we live stream and we do the stuffs and the things and the stuffs and the things in the live stream. To do the live streams, please no audio in the live stream.
Sorry.
In the live stream. What did you even click? Oh, it's me.
I just opened
okay.
up YouTube. I opened up YouTube and it started doing sound.
I mean, if there's any noise that's going to come, I guess it should be mine, although YouTube doesn't always care about that either. In the live stream. In the live stream, when you're doing the live stream, in the live stream, doing the stuffs, talking about the stuffs and the things, and the God and the not God, and the is there a God or is there not a God, in the Discord now with the live stream, where you can talk to me in the live stream. There's a cat just off camera in the live stream. It's a live stream. In the live stream. Yeah. Boop doop 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 doop. Poop doop poop doop poop. In the live stream. So today is the first day we have the Discord, which is exciting and terrifying.
All at once.
Yes. All at once. All at once. It's all the feelings. All at once. How much shit can I have pulled up
You have a lot.
here at once? How do I make you different? I think that's it. Alright. In the live stream. For the live stream, doing the live stream and the stuffs and the things and the stuffs and the things in the live stream.
Are we the only 2 people watching? It just does again.
It said 2 before I hit the join, so maybe not. Now it's 4.
Ooh, welcome.
Ooh. 4 people in the live stream.
How many times can you say in the live stream? In the live stream.
How many times can I say in the live stream while I'm in the live stream? However. Thank you, Minty. I appreciate it. We jumped up to 25 real quick. Hello.
Oh, whoa. Whoa.
The number went from 4 to 25. Welcome, all. Feel free to engage in chat.
My thing still says 1, but...
Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
It's very... I feel like it's always been very delayed.
My chat swims sideways. There it is. Okay, cool. I do not play video games. Well, I don't on, like, camera or anything.
He does have a gaming channel.
That I haven't posted to in a couple of years. But the videos are still there.
Videos are still up, and still very entertaining. Link in bio.
It's linked in the bio. It's one of the featured channels at the bottom of my YouTube channel. You want to check out me 2 to 4 years ago. 3 to 4 maybe. 3 to 5. I don't know. It's been a minute. I have not played Elden Ring. I haven't played a lot of the big name games. I didn't have a whole lot of this thing called money growing up, and still don't. So I haven't played a lot of those big games. I mean, I've seen playthroughs. I watched like YouTubers play playthroughs, but Elden Ring, those types of games, I never really got into. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're all having an amazing day. Night, whenever you're watching this. It's night now. It's 10 p.m. Where I'm at. I do not play Fortnite. Not my cup of tea. How many cards do you have?
I have 5.
How many cards do I have?
I don't know, but I have 5.
I'm on playthrough 10. I play too much. I mean, I've played Outlast I don't know how many times, and I've poured countless hours into Minecraft. You know, if it's the game that you like to play, or that you want to play it. 11 p.m. where you're at right now. It's late. It's much later where you're at right now. You know, it's just the games that make you. I wouldn't say make you happy, because there are games that I like to play that don't necessarily make me happy. But you know, it's games that you. Yeah, I forgot to turn that down. I usually keep it on like 1.
Me too.
So like maybe I can hear her if like she makes noise. I mean, you're here, so like you can keep a better eye on her, especially when I'm here by myself. But no, play the video games that make you. Oh, I almost said it again. Maybe not necessarily make you happy, but you know, the games that you want to play.
I need a freaking district.
You love Minecraft? Minecraft's my favorite game. I really like the new update. It looks pretty. It's super cool. I am here for it. Kitten. 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 She doesn't like being picked up. She doesn't like when I pick her up.
People like kitties, right?
Kitty. Well, she was already on stream. We brought her on the camera earlier.
And kitty.
My sweet girl.
We'll bring her on camera again.
And make sure you get an extra $40 bag of that Omni tuna or Omni chicken while you pretend you do not know what I speak of. Hi, Wesley. Good to see you. The Bible is not evidence for God. The Bible is a collection of claims. It is a kitty. But don't worry, you will not have to share the $40 bag of meat labeled Omni tuna or Omni chicken with any children. Glad I don't have to worry about that. Just one problem off my plate, I guess. The real bread was efficence. Remember last time I said the Bible was evidence for God? Zuver, I'm going to be honest with you. I did forget. I forgot that you. I feel bad. I did forget that you existed. Yes. And I did the exact same thing. Welcome. Good to see you again. God, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible, terrible content creator. See? I can kind of hear her. Oh, she's coughing. She's big coughing. The real bread was evidence. What real bread, Wesley? What was the bread? And how is it evidence? Is your first time on the stream? This is about what it is. It's nothing too special. I do have the Discord server fired up tonight. The Discord link is in the description. I can also just post it somewhere. Who do I want to post it? I'm going to post it here. If you want to speak to me. Can I put in chat? No, I don't want to start a poll, start a Q&A. Can I put in chat? Can I put in chat? Can no, I don't want to remove it. Can I put in chat? Can I put, hold on. Hold on, it's fine. I just have to grab something. Oh God, it's all squished. Fortunately, the link is still in my email here. So all I have to do is grab this, and then I can just post it from my alt account, and nothing can go wrong there. Where'd all my tabs go? There they are. Fuck. Paste. Hopefully that link works. Oh, no, Broken Spectacles can't post a link. It's in the description. Or in the description, it's in the description of the video, it's in the description on my channel. There's a post I made about it a while back. I can, why don't you explain it then? Oh, you're talking to somebody else, not me. You can find it, I trust you. Why can't I post in chat here? Help. Help. I don't want to start a poll or start a Q&A. I just want to post. I just want to say hi.
You can't post?
I can't post!
I'm gonna test.
Yeah, I do. Well, thank you, Pet
I'm
Fantasy.
fine. I'm in there. What do you need to... Is there something I can, like, copy and try and paste?
What's your email? Don't say it out loud. Never mind. Thank you for not answering that immediately.
Yeah. I just kind of looked at you for a second. I'm like...
It's... I have it.
You should have me in
I
here.
have it. It's fine. See if you can put that in the Discord. I have you as a mod. I only stream... Well, typically only stream on Tuesday nights. So probably not a live stream tomorrow. So probably not. But I do hope to see you again, Pet Fancy Piano. You are welcome back.
Hey! There you go.
Hey! Taylor posted the link. Okay, sweet.
You are welcome.
So that exists. So if you want to speak to me, just go to the Discord and follow the instructions in the live stream channel.
You are welcome.
Okay, now people are asking me, if astral projections are verified, would that deem there's something beyond our natural world? You see, you get into a slippery slope because we have this idea of the supernatural that does not pertain to the natural. But if these supernatural things exist, arguably they do belong to the natural world. The natural world is just more magical or whatever. I know magical might not be the best term, but more supernatural, I guess, than we might think. So it would still be natural. It would just be new natural. What it would do would open up our minds to there being something else out there. Even if it's just stopped there. It doesn't necessarily prove ghosts or gods or afterlives or anything like that, but it'll at least get us somewhere. I mean, if we can get our foot in the door and demonstrate that some supernatural thing exists, surely that could get us somewhere to finding other supernatural things. And I am using the supernatural term loosely because yes, I just made that explanation, but I don't have anything else to call it. Spiritual, divine, something else-ish. Hello. So something beyond. It would show that there is something beyond our current perception of the natural world, even if that something beyond only stops at astral projection. I like how you posted hello. Like, was that to test if you could chat?
That was a test. Yeah, making sure
You can
it
chat.
was letting me.
Well, you can chat. We know you can chat.
Just wanted to make sure.
2 more times shall Jesus allow your God Satan to do that to you. Okay? Start with St. Thomas Aquinas' 5 arguments for God. I don't find them all too compelling. Enjoy the schizos in the chat? They're fine. People come in the chat and say their thing. Wesley is a regular, so it's good to see him. I don't always understand what he's saying, but like he's harmless. He's just doing his thing.
Cool. I'm getting stuff now.
I can't believe you actually did that.
Listen, I feel like this way they can't say anything to me.
I hope not.
They're okay with it as long as it is the brand.
So is that actually a thing?
Yes.
Like you verified that with management and everything?
That is what I was told when I got there today.
Alright.
So I feel like this way maybe they can't say anything.
Whatever. Sorry,
you know
we're
what?
talking about our workplace.
It's not costing me anything
Our,
because I have the cards.
our workplace is doing rule stuff.
They're allowing water. That's stupid. And they're doing it in the summertime. Like, that's probably the most stupid part.
Well, that's just when they got in trouble for it, when they happened to get in trouble for it.
Still.
There's no evidence that you believe in God or that you ever shall. Yeah? Do you guys work together? We do. We work in the same place. Yes, we do work together. Different departments, but not usually at the same time.
I got on your Discord, part of me's like, oh, do I have to put in my thing? I don't, because I'm here.
You are here.
I'm here.
You can
I can just speak.
you can just speak. You have, I mean, it's essentially like in the Discord. You have the
Yeah.
God power in the Discord. I think
I
you can.
do.
I think you can probably hop into the live stream chat just by yourself. Yeah, because it's not even there for everyone else.
I can just join.
It's not even there as an option for everyone
I
else.
can just join, yeah.
The general is that there is an option, and then I can drag them into the live stream from there. Does anyone know you guys are married? Most people. Well, I wouldn't even say most people. Most people in that building probably don't know us, but a lot of people
I have
that we
some
work
people
with.
who have come up to me when they finally realize, they're like, wait, that's your husband? I'm like, yes.
It's fun.
They know we're married. I think they know each of us individually are married. Although I don't know if they know you're married all too often because you don't have your ring.
That one lady didn't
Yeah.
know that I was married. Just thought I was single. I'm like, no.
I just
Speaking
reminded
of,
you that.
yeah, took it off and put it in my pocket.
You don't wear your ring, but that's because you don't want to lose it.
Don't want to lose it,
Understandable.
and it's just a fucking thing.
Yeah, understandable. You work in a cooler, you gotta wear gloves and all that.
And all your money shall fail. Well, one day, we'll all die and it'll all come to nothing. But it'll be fun while it lasts. Or it won't be. We're not going to talk about our personal life like that. But the answer is no. That'll be the last question I answer about our personal life like that.
Half the time we don't even work
I
together
was about to say,
anyway.
again, we're usually not even there at the same time, so it wouldn't even work.
One of us is usually always here with our daughter.
Boop a doop a doop a doop a doop a doop a doop. That means yes. That means no. We have
That means
not.
no.
Low IQ talking points. Whenever someone brings up IQ, I'm sorry. I'm going to go on a little tangent here. It's dumb to me. IQ is not everything. I'm happy for people to be smart or have high IQs, but it's not the end-all be-all. You can still believe wrong things with a high IQ. You can still believe true things and right things with a low IQ. I just think, I don't know. I don't think it's something to bring up. Oh, there's these low IQ arguments or whatever. It's just arguments. basic arguments. I don't know if we really need to mention IQ or bring IQ into the conversation. Doop a doop a doop a doop a doop a doop.
I need to go eat before my stomach decides to make an appearance on your stream.
Well, then go get food. Does it need to enter the live stream chat? What's your stomach's preferred name and pronouns? Are you raising your child to be religious? No. We are not. And we have asked our family to respect that wish. Because we have had issues where, the family members have tried to, start working religion and God and stuff into our child's life. And we're just like, hey, please don't do that. Please, if you could respectfully not. Are you raising your child trans? You don't really raise children trans. Your child's either trans or they're not. Which I guess if the child ends up being trans, then I guess technically you are, but it's not anywhere close to the same category as they are not groomed. It's not even close to the same category. And it is not grooming. As someone who was raised in a Christian conservative home and went to Catholic school K through 12th grade, I've been attracted to guys as well as girls for as long as I can remember, even long before it became sexual, like preschool when you had little crushes and whatnot. I had crushes on guys and girls, and never really felt like a very manly individual, never really felt quite like a man. These days, I identify as pansexual and non-binary. And I've been that way since the longest I can remember is 4. It's just who you are, born that way. And the advocacy is important, and showing kids that people of the LGBTQ plus community exists, showing people that kids that those people exist and that it's okay to be like those people is important, because, take it from me, kids feel lost and scared. I thought that there was something wrong with me, that Satan was attacking me, or just all this crazy stuff, and it really, really did not help the mental health issues that I had growing up. And it would have been very, very nice if somebody would have told me, yeah, Timmy has 2 dads. Oh. So a boy can like a boy. And that would have been it. No one's grooming, the LGBTQ plus community isn't grooming kids. They're not trying to force them into a lifestyle. They're not trying to turn the kids or the frogs gay. Just saying, hey, these people exist. And that's fine. That's it. And if you're one of these people, that's fine. And if you're not one of these people, that's fine. Just don't bully these other people for being who they are. Don't really agree with trans people. There's not really anything to agree with. It's just who they are. Gay cousin is doing a gay marriage in October. Well, I'm happy for him. Like the guys who repress their sexuality, they are the best. I did. Have you checked between the couch cushions for what? There are definitely people grooming their kids with LGBTQ plus stuff. Not all. Well, there's people grooming their kids with everything, but it's not as prevalent. It's not the community or all LGBTQ plus people. I have not checked the couch cushions for God yet. I have not checked there yet.
Are you there?
Jesus?
No, there.
I think it's important to be precise with speech and not generalize. I think that's important. Some of them are grooming kids, but most are not. There's also a lot of heterosexual people grooming kids.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the grooming kids is just kind of something, it's a category of itself. There are straight, gay, Christian, atheists, Republican, Democrat groomers, and they'll use whatever tactics they have for grooming. They'll use anything that exists in the world for that. So yes, you will find LGBTQ plus stuff being used, but that does not lump in the rest of the community, the rest of LGBTQ plus, with those people in any way, shape, form, or capacity. Hey, Mama. Give me water. Please. You actually have a water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I could drink.
Are you gonna reuse this at all? Do you care?
No.
You hate water bottles. I'm gonna take the logo off. Yeah, that's true as well. Acknowledging gay groomers doesn't negate that straight people also do it. Correct. They should all be called out. A groomer is a groomer is a groomer. I don't really need to know much else about them.
Doing the best I can with this, but I don't do almost the actual proper size cheese.
You should have gotten some. You're at the store.
I know.
Like spray cheese or something. I have a saying, the same way a man pretending to be a woman doesn't make him a woman, pretending there's a God doesn't mean there is one. Well, if you're talking about trans people, it's not a man pretending to be a woman. I do not do drugs or alcohol. Why did the Greek scribes and Septuagint mistranslate the SPR root in Ezekiel 9:2? I have no idea. No idea. Hey, Doom. So would you say trans woman is a woman? I'd say a trans woman is a trans woman. Why don't you drink? It's just not good for you. Alcohol is just not good for you. It's not good for me. It hasn't done nice things for me in the past. I'm just better off without it. And that's not a general statement to everyone, but it's definitely for me. Definitely a statement for me that alcohol is not for me. So, just don't do it. And drugs are pretty much the same thing. Although I haven't tried any drugs, but I have no intention of going down that road. Just not for me. If I can. If you want to find God, you should consider the Crocopeplos of Eos, which became the mystery of the Easter egg. Interesting. A trans woman is a woman. We made up the concept of man and women, and we can unmake them too if we so choose. Well, we made up gender and gender roles and things of the like. But obviously, like biological male and female and other is just a thing that exists in nature and within humans. I do not take antidepressants. It would probably be a good thing for me to do, but I do not take antidepressants. Antidepressants, anxiety meds would probably be a good idea. But, you know, whatever.
I think it's a fabulous idea.
You know, it might be. It's entirely possible. The answer to the mystery of the Easter, the word is derived from the same root as eos, egg, is that yolk in Greek was krokos. Wish you never started them because now you're stuck on them. Well, yeah, but if they help, if the medicine helps, the medicine helps. If it's good for you, it's good for you. Don't take them as devastating now. I have heard some stuff like that, where like you don't. I'm not an expert therapist, so please don't take any of my advice as like facts. But I have heard a combination of antidepressants and therapy is pretty good. Therapy helping you figure out how to cope with depression while your antidepressant medication keeps you from really plummeting. But that therapy is important. Learning how to be without your medication is important. Liver enzymes are through the roof. That doesn't sound fun. Have you considered the apocalypse and the nails of Nebuchadnezzar? You should read Ail's chapter on lapis lazuli if you want to understand that about God. I might have to look into it. I do feel like I would do well with some medication. I was on ADHD medication for a good chunk of my life.
Yeah.
Managed to wean myself off of that. Boyfriend's family is super rich, and I feel very inadequate around them. Yeah, I can feel that. But as long as you and your boyfriend love each other, that's really the important thing. You don't have to feel like you're inadequate or that you don't belong or anything. If you and your boyfriend are happy together, then you belong with your boyfriend. Sometimes belonging with someone doesn't necessarily mean that you belong with their family. Sometimes you don't. And sometimes that's just how it's always going to be, and a lot of the times it has nothing to do with you. But I think as long as you and your boyfriend are happy together, I think that is what you should really focus on, because I think that's really all that matters. It's the number one most important thing. And in any relationship, is so long as you and your partner are happy together. Because it's not really, and maybe you and your boyfriend have different thoughts on this. I'm not one of those people who, you marry someone, you marry the family. No. I married my wife, and she married me. She didn't marry my family. I didn't marry hers. And now, obviously, they're our family, so, try to make nice and have a good relationship, but you don't have to bend over backwards and, follow their rules and live life the way that they prescribe. You don't have to be adequate for them. You just have to be adequate for your partner. Yes, sex and gender are two different things. sex and gender are directly correlated, oftentimes, but not necessarily. And it also doesn't help that neither are limited to two possibilities. There are possibilities for biological sex outside of male and female, and there are possibilities for gender outside of male and female, and they don't necessarily always align with each other. Kitchen. I do not know how to draw any of those. Poor kitty. My cat Peanut, I'm scratching her. She has a hard time reaching up to like her neck and collar and ears area. So every now and then I have to help her. Hey, sweet girl. Blah, blah, blah. Blah. Blah.
She always goes to you.
What? She does sometimes just come up to me when she has an itch.
Or she always goes to you for her itches. You get the best scratches.
I try to. I try to help McGiddy. Hi. 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 Can I pick up kid? Oh boy. It is a peanut.
You are correct.
It's a happy peanut kitty.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.
Hey, sweet girl. I have looked up St. Thomas Aquinas' 5 ways, and I've studied him. I was taught him in school. He's not. I don't find the 5 ways very compelling at all. I need to do a video on those. She does have a pretty beautiful coat.
Dolores Umbridge.
Dolores Umbridge. Do you like Twinks or no? I don't feel like that's information that's safe to share with Dolores Umbridge. I'm just kind of attracted to who I'm attracted to. Not really categories, I'm going to be honest with you. Just
They
people
just,
I find
they
cute.
just joined and they said they heard me, yet you didn't say my name. But they know it's me.
Yeah, they've probably been in the stream. I think I recognize the name. I will tell the Ministry of Magic on you. Is the Ministry of Magic anti-LGBTQ+?
Oh, no.
Well, hey, you know what? Actually, it probably is.
Probably.
If it was a world created by J.K. Rowling, probably is. Taylor is my preference right now. Definitely.
Right now.
Right now. You weren't always in the past. When I was younger, I had other preferences, you know, before we met and stuff.
So just right now.
I hope you continue learning. Always trying to continue learning. Always trying. You're just limp. You're just limp in my arms. Hi.
And she's just gonna make your allergies go crazy. Look at all this hair.
I did just take my
Oh
medicine.
my lord.
Taylor, your time is limited. It is.
Oh no.
We talk about it.
every now and then he says something. I'm like, oh, so this is how it ends, huh?
We'll argue about what we'll get in the custody dispute. Gotta get a head start on that shit. Just be ready for it. We live in the U.S. Over 50%, if I can speak, over 50% of marriages in this country end in divorce. So, like, the stats aren't on our side. If I can speak.
You didn't do any vocal exercises before coming out here.
No. I used to do those.
Did you?
When did I do them? I think I did them before my TikTok live streams when I still live streamed on TikTok, and I think I did them before my gaming videos.
I did not know that.
I think it's around 45 now. Well, that's good. That's good news. You tune in from time to time. Yeah, I recognize your name. I'm not always good at recognizing names, as Zuver pointed out earlier. But I try. I'm also just terrible with names in general. In every aspect of my life, I'm terrible with names. Hopefully there's a sign that couples are happier and not that people feel trapped to remain married for things like finances. Hopefully. I can definitely see the finance thing in the U.S. I can definitely see that being an issue. Or trapped for other reasons. I mean, I feel like that's part of the reason why it's high, especially compared to like previous times. I mean, over 50% is, we went pretty far out there, but I would expect divorce rates to rise when marriages stopped becoming so trappy, when there wasn't so much pressure from family, society, religion, and whatnot to get married and stay married. Hello. To be honest, I don't care if people are unhappy in their marriage. If they have young children, I don't think divorce should be legal when a couple has children below 18. Maybe there are some exceptions, because it definitely can hurt the kids. But there are some times, if the marriage just isn't a happy, good one, it can become toxic and corrosive and eat away at everything, including the kids. So there are some instances where it's better. It's still not good. It's still not a good situation to be in at all, but there are some situations where it would be better for the parents to get a divorce, even if they do still have a young child. Which just sucks that that's the world that we live in, but...
I'm a child of a divorce.
You
and,
are. Yeah, you
can
didn't...
say it was better for them to be separated and somewhat happier than together and constantly arguing.
It'd be like that sometimes. Didn't make
Granted, I was like 14, 15 at the time, but you know.
Didn't make the divorce any more fun, I imagine.
Oh no. No, it did not.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
Still issues to this day.
Still issues to this day, but I mean, it's different for all couples.
Couples being forced to stay married for the kids tends to not work out, and if they actually can make things worse. Yeah, that's what we were just saying. I'm a Christian. It's not my job to prove Jehovah exists or not to someone who's not sure if there is one. What I can tell you is he requires obedience to us through the Ten Commandments. Well, I'm not going to follow a set of weird rules about a religion for a God that I don't have any reason to believe exists, and if he did exist, I don't respect. I believe both parents should grow up and figure out a solution. Perhaps in a perfect world, but we are talking about humans. It gets a little more complicated. Humans, unfortunately, aren't that simple. I'm a child of divorce, and it was a classic case of boomer selfishness. And there are some shitty situations like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are some shitty situations like that. How are you going to find God if you don't try to understand the language game? I think an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving God shouldn't be stopped by errors in translation from a book that he gave us thousands of years ago. I think he should just kind of show up and make himself known. Doom, I've been meaning to ask, do you want moderator privileges on YouTube? Same rules, basically, and same exceptions. I mean, you're in my YouTube live stream, so, like, you know how I run things. I don't mute or ban, like, anyone. And it would be the same, like, volunteer stuff as the Discord. If a couple is going to stay together for the sake of the kids, it has to be something they agree to because they're signing up for the commitment to keep the peace. Yeah? If they can't put the argument aside, probably best to reconsider staying together. Pretty rare that anyone's actually an issue, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, probably not going to be a thing, but you should have thought about that before marriage. Yeah, but people change. I'm not the same person I was when my wife and I got married. Fortunately,
kids also changes you.
Having changed, kids also changes you. Life events change you. A lot has happened in the 5 or so years since my wife and I got married. A lot.
Going on 6 years.
I was a devout Christian when my wife and I got married.
We're not the same people.
We almost got married in the church, and we're not the same people we are when we started dating. But you know, Taylor and I, it just kind of worked out. We love each other, and
we grew together.
We were able to grow together, and stay together and keep loving each other. But it doesn't always work with that stuff. What, you choose that Muppet over I, Dolores Umbridge? Listen, man. I've seen the movies. Can I? Do my card. Boom.
Give me mods so I can ban everyone from chat. Dolores, that's not how we do things.
That's so in character. She will have order, alright? None of this crazy ass shit.
Well, Dolores is a witch, right?
Yes.
The females are witches.
Yes.
So she can use her
method
her magic to make herself a mod.
Yeah, you can just use your magic and make yourself a moderator. Hello, Kay.
Hey, Kay.
Look at you, Doom. You got the little wrench by your name and everything. Are you winning, son? I feel like I am. Pretty decent, chill live stream.
Fine, I will be that way. Oh no.
Are you by chance related to Cody Skaggs? I don't know a Cody Skaggs. I can fix cars legally. I'm a mechanic. That's what it means.
You technically have a cousin Cody that married him, but not.
Yeah, that's
Skaggs.
yeah.
It's a different Cody. They have a different last name now.
He stole her away. Would you ever start an OnlyFans? Maybe. If that's where the wind took me, you know. I have thought like, if anything happens to Taylor and, like, I become a single parent and have to provide for my child and have to be here for my child, oh, I'm pulling out all the stops. I will stop at nothing to provide for my child. I will do whatever it takes. Are you going to make a Discord or something so we can discuss such in-depth topics on call? I have that Discord.
We have one. I have posted the link.
You can post it again. It's probably gotten buried. But we do have exactly that set up. Exactly that.
I will post it. Give me a second.
Link is also in the description of the live stream, and it is also in the description of my YouTube channel. It is also in a post from not too far off. OnlyFans is your last resort. OnlyFans is my first. We're not the same. Oh, it's not really last resort. It's going to be one of the first things I would do if Taylor died.
Keyword: if I died.
I have plans set in place. I'm not going to waste a second. So I'm going to need to provide for my child. I can probably pin. I can't pin it through here.
Can you pin?
No, I don't want to do that. I don't know if it's going to let me pin. It just gives me the option to report or block you. Wait, no. I have. No, just report or block. I can pin. Yeah, I can pin other messages. There we go. No, that's case. There it is. There it is.
Okay. So my message is now pinned. Hey.
Yeah, there it is. That's the Discord. A strong single father just doing the Lord's work. I'd be doing what I can. We're fancy with the technology. We're fancy with the technology now, man. I got the Discord pulled up. You got the special moderator dress up. I got the links on the top. We're doing the whole thing.
Me and Doom being the mechanics now. Look at us with a little wrench by our names.
With your cute little wrenches. All 9 yards. Are y'all parents boomers? I don't really know what the generational stops are.
I really don't know either.
Early 50s.
Early 50s?
Well, no, they're in their early 50s. Our parents
yeah.
are. So whatever that makes them.
Oh, no, mine were born in the 70s. Were yours?
Age. No, my parents were not born in the 50s.
Well, I know their age. I'm just... The generation... Sometimes they go from, like... The years. From, like...
Oh.
Whatever to whatever. I were born in the 70s, so I don't know what that would...
Late 60s, early 70s?
Mm-hmm.
It would be...
Baby boomers from... to 64.
So no. I don't think they would fall in boomers.
So yeah.
Some of them might be close. Some of them might be close. Gen X if they are in their 50s. Okay, then probably Gen X.
Yeah.
Is that like the next one, like boomers and then Gen X? Because I think our parents are like right at the start of Gen X. Okay.
Just like, isn't the late 90s like there's somewhere is the cutoff between what, Gen Z and millennials?
Yeah, I don't.
I always feel like I don't know which one I fit.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I hear like Gen Z, millennial stuff like that, I hear zodiac signs. I genuinely don't give a fuck, and you could tell me what I fall into over and over and over, and I will keep forgetting because my brain literally just does not care. It's just one of those things where I'm just straight up not interested.
Okay, so 97 is the first year of Gen Z, so you're Gen Z.
And 96 is millennial, so
I
you're a
was
millennial, and I'm Gen Z. You old woman.
Hey!
I'm getting up there. Almost 30.
I'm aware I'm almost 30,
Yeah.
okay?
You're almost there. You got... What are you... Are you 29 this year? Yeah, you're 29 this year.
This
Yeah.
year.
Next year. About a year and a half.
I know.
It's going to go by like that. Are you ready?
No.
And I'll be, a year behind you, but like, hey.
My last year, the 20s, man.
I believe God has called me if I can read. I believe God has called me as an evangelist. I can tell you about Jesus. Go for it. That's what this live stream is for. I used to be in that same boat, and now I'm not anymore. God is not just an entity, but the human belief in hope and faith. Within the Quran, even though God gave our prophets commandments, he also gave his powers. For Noah, he gave perseverance and strength. You'll still be living up young as ever as a sub-30 year old child of God. Yeah. Can I, if I can read, can I discuss the existence of a God with you in Discord? Sure. If you want to follow the link and then go to the live stream channel and follow the instructions there, I can pull you up for a little bit. That can be an end to the live stream because we're almost at an hour. So that can be where it ends. And I would prefer if, well, no, I guess I don't care. I was going to say I prefer if you have a more specific topic, but I don't know if I care. We can hash it out when you get up. Try praying about it 3 times to ask God for a sin or ask God for a sign, I assume. Eric, I'm not going to lie. I was going to say, hey, now you didn't tell me what you want to discuss, but you did tell me what you want to discuss. I'm slow. Please forgive me. So just talk about God. And then if you want to hop in the general voice chat. And then I can, in theory, pull you down to the live voice chat. This is the test. This is the test.
This is the ultimate test.
You're the first person being brought up. Create a notifications channel in Discord that notifies when you upload or start a live. There are bots that can do it automatically, I think. I should do that.
You should do that.
I need a notifications channel, which I actually have been thinking about that. And then I also want, because you brought up like the fun, one of you brought up like the fun channel, meme channel or whatever. I do want an off-topic channel. I just haven't done it yet. Okay, Eric. How do I do this?
Bear with us.
Bear with my stupidity. I think I can just do that.
Oh, hey.
There you go.
You just
There we go.
You
How's it
literally
going?
dragged him.
I
You
dragged him.
just dragged him.
I couldn't do it. I have you on the phone and I had to drag you through the Discord on the computer because I'm a professional.
Oh yeah. Is my audio okay?
Your audio is okay. Can the chat hear okay?
Here, I'm gonna turn mine up for a second.
Can the...
Yeah, I made sure I turned off the live stream, or else I'll hear myself talk, and I don't wanna hear that.
I can hear him okay.
Okay. Taylor says we can hear you just fine.
Sorry,
So,
there was a delay, so I had to wait a second.
yeah, there will be a delay, so we'll just have to bear with that.
Alright.
Chat says they can hear you too.
If you wanna,
Sorry, go
Pardon?
ahead.
if you want a more specific topic, I'm more thinking like I don't really want to try to convince you on Christianity, because I look at Christianity, and for an atheist, it seems like a really big jump. It's going from, I don't believe in an entity that is above all, to, like, how do I explain it? How the Bible is written, it's very interesting and in-depth. Like, why did Jonah get eaten by a fish? That's weird. Seems like a fairy tale to me, And so I plan to hit a more general thing, because I'm a Christian myself, and I had problems with, the obscurities in the Bible, but I've come to a conclusion over the last few years I've been in college that high potential that there is a God.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do agree that figuring out if there is a God is a good first step before you get into like the specific gods, especially because the Bible does then become a little bit messy and it becomes a little bit more of a different beast. So sometimes it is just simpler to discuss God.
Like, you're juggling two topics. I mean, some Christians might say that, you can't find God unless you pray about it. And so for some people, it's just, you won't even get them to pray,
Yeah. So anything specific?
Yeah. So think of more of like the logic that we live by. I've been waiting to like discuss this in Discord for a while. Like, I've been in your live streams for probably about like a month now.
I recognize.
I recognize you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here,
Stop it.
for sticking around and whatnot.
Appreciate the patience.
I apologize. It took me forever for the Discord because I decided.
No worries.
I decided I'm gonna do it, and then like I needed to talk to someone about it, and then 3 weeks went by, and I don't really have a better explanation than that. It's like, yeah, I'll do it a month later.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the main specific thing I want to go over is basically just the belief that everything is created by something.
Okay.
And the basis I have here is I believe everything is created by something. There's no place in science, like no place in the world we understand where something is created from nothing.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't do this very often, but
no, you're fine.
I used to do debate class when I was younger.
Oh, well,
everything is always created by something, and not once in the world has life come from non-life. So, give me your stance on the other half of things, and then I'll just say what I believe, and you can refute.
The problem is when it comes to looking at things, because it's kind of like every building has a builder, every painting has a painter type of argument. And the problem is, and please correct me if I'm like straw manning your argument or anything. We can see stuff that we have created. We can see it not existing before humans sat down and created it. We can see the humans created. We can see the materials they used. We can see the process. We can see the end result. We can study the entire process from start to finish, from the very first, in a lot of instances, from the very first time it became an idea in somebody's head to the finished commercialized product. When it comes to humans or trees or planets, we just kind of have the end result and some evidence for some of the process, kind of bits and pieces in. We don't have the same. We can't verify that it came from a creator, and because with a creator, there would also be more evidence outside of just something needs to be created. I feel like we would see any evidence for something divine or supernatural or something. We don't really see that, so it more so becomes the thing of we don't really know how these things came to be, but that doesn't mean it had to have been created, if any of that makes sense.
Yeah, I sort of pick up what you're putting down, that we only see the end cause. But I'm just thinking of things of like a tree. It starts from a seed, and that seed came from an older tree, and that seed came from an older tree, and that seed came from an older tree. And we can only assume it goes down a line. And of course, it's an assumption, but let's be real here. Everything science, nothing can be 100% proven. The only thing that can be proven is I think, therefore I am. And even some people argue against that.
Because you could argue, maybe we're just a brain in the vat or a simulation, or who the
Yeah,
hell knows. But typically we can agree, that that's not the case.
I think therefore I am. I had a huge conversation with my philosophy professor about that one. But for example, you know how complicated like the human body is
Mm-hmm.
compared to something like a laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's make this theoretical. I hate theoreticals, by the way. Theoreticals drive me nuts. But
If that's how we got to get there, that's how we got to get there.
Yeah, I'm putting it on the table here. So let's say you take this area of land, and in this area of land, there's all the materials there is to make a laptop, right? And you give that area millions and millions and millions and millions of years, will you have a laptop?
No.
No. It would be extremely unlikely. It wouldn't make sense. The stuff has to land on top of each other properly, and then you have magnetism of things pushing away from each other. It just wouldn't make a lot of sense for that laptop to just, it'll show up after millions of years. And if you look at the complications of humans, how in the world does that just accidentally happen? People say it starts as a first cell, but a cell is so much more complicated than a laptop as is. So though all the chemicals might have been in the perfect place at the perfect time, I don't believe that they can construct into a life, especially something that starts the life, that heartbeat, that gives the rhythm, or what we classify as life.
Mm-hmm. Well, with the laptop.
So where does...
Sorry, go ahead.
Continue.
Okay, I'll go.
Say about the laptop.
With the laptop, again, it would be in that separate category where we know the laptops don't occur in the same way that trees and humans and stuff do. We don't see anyone forming a human like we would a laptop. A laptop is a specifically human invention, so it kind of gets into a separate category from, well, let's say the natural world, humans, plants, and whatnot. We don't fully understand all of the natural processes. I don't know if saying by chance or by accident is a great way to put it. It's just the universe doing what the universe naturally does, and we don't understand all of those processes, and that's fine. Like I'm one of those people. I like to bring up the look at the trees argument, because I know it's like the baseline is not a very good theist argument, and I hear it more made fun of by atheists than anything. But I do look at the trees. What the fuck is a tree? How is that there? Why does it look like that? Where did it come from? How? It's like I am absolutely picking up all that you're putting down. It's like, how do we get human? How the fuck do we get human? It doesn't make sense. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to have been a god. And even if we go down the line and talk about abiogenesis, life coming from non-life, which we do have some evidence for, or evolution or things of the like, there can always be the argument of, yeah, but how is that happening, and how did it get started? And the unfortunate answer is we don't know. And unfortunately, we can't then make that leap of, I don't know, therefore I know exactly what it is. It doesn't really qualify as any kind of evidence. I also tend to stray away from, humans being perfectly designed, because we're not. We have flaws. Our back isn't really designed for a creature that stands upright. My eating and breathing tubes are in the same spot, so if I choke while I'm eating, I die from suffocation. I like to point out, I need glasses to see, but also my ears are lopsided, so when I wear glasses, sometimes my glasses are lopsided, which just screws up my vision and bothers me with glasses. But then I can't have without the glasses because I need glasses to see, and I'm also colorblind. It's just a cherry on top. So things get a little messy, and that might be a nitpicky thing, but things like the spine or the appendix. The appendix does have some use. We've discovered some more use for it over time, but it is still a time bomb. Why?
We're segueing here from, I'm like, that's Christian belief, right? We're right now starting with, just a God in the first place?
Well,
Where
that's
did
kind of
life come from?
theist.
Where did everything come from?
Well, that's still kind of
Well,
theist.
I mean, we're perfect in a different sense rather than our body, because I mean, this is just a Christian belief over here. I'll jump and then jump right back. A Christian belief is our bodies aren't perfect, but our mind is perfect to God.
I can see
You're
I can see what you're saying. Where I shifted
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, but anyway, where were we before that? I said I was talking about the laptop situation.
Yeah.
The thing is we think about, okay, a laptop is purely like a development of a human, right? And then a human is developed by nature, right?
Sure.
But I just think about that, and it's like, what if it was the other way around? Could there be a possibility that it was a robot that was created that one day created humans, you know?
I feel like when we think of that, it goes into more of like brain in the vat matrix territory of like we really don't have anything on that, and it seems like it's not completely off the table. Maybe we are brains in the vat, or maybe we are a matrix, but just one of those things like probably not. But then we also get into the mess of where the universe came from in general. Some new data recently has suggested that it has always existed in some state forever. That's not frustrating to think about at all. But you know what was before? What was the state before? What we have the Big Bang or the Great Expansion, or however you want to call it. But what comes before that? So could be robot or something in the exact same category that it could be Matrix or Brain in the Vat.
So is in reality, like, I think we can come to agreement in this middle ground here that you can't completely disprove atheism and you can't completely disprove theism.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, so you're just we're both up in the air here. I'm a Christian because I believe there's a purpose to my life, right?
Okay.
And I'm sure you found certain types of purpose in your life, and you don't have to associate purpose with a God, right?
Correct.
Not all the time. But so there's no proving here, and that's what faith is. I mean, there's no proving for anything ever. Like, gravity's just a theory, so we know it's there. But from what we observe, everything we understand is a theory, right?
Well, I think with gravity, it becomes another one of those things where we can't know anything for certain, but that doesn't mean we can just say, I don't know. We do stick to certain things, like we can usually trust our senses. There's the laws of logic, things that we can generally agree on because they seem to be working just fine. And a theory within science is this is the best explanation we have for a given topic, backed by the absolute best, greatest evidence. That's what a theory is. Of course, like I said, we can't know anything 100% for fact, but like gravity is gravity. We can kind of agree on that.
That exact reason of like something we agree on is why I believe there's a creator, because it's what we know. We know everything we've seen has been created by something, which is why my belief is, okay, this pattern seems to be super consistent. How can we not be created by a God? How could we not be created and everything was created from us? And then that goes into the argument of like who created God and all that. But that also goes into, okay, but we're talking about a God above the law, that everything is created by something.
Yeah, you can kind of stick that stopping pin in with like the infinite God, because it stops the infinite regress problem. There's like the uncaused cause, the prime mover, all of that.
Yeah.
Where you can pin God at the end of that line.
Yeah. So that's why I believe is just patterns we see. It shows that everything has been created by something. So there has to be something that started throwing that ball. Something that's above the logic we understand on a daily basis.
With the logic and with the patterns and whatnot, it could just be a fact that not only do we all live in the same universe, but we all live in the same galaxy, solar system, planets, and we're all the same species. So there's going to be similarities, there's going to be patterns. Laws of logic and laws of physics and whatnot are just observances. If gravity worked any different, our theory of gravity would be different. It's just how we discover and understand what is already there. And that could just be natural process of the universe. So I don't know if it's necessarily requires some kind of God to have intentionally put laws of logic to work in a specific way, or physics. It could just be the way the universe works. Because the universe is old, it's big, it's full of stuff, and it does a lot of stuff. So it's not completely outside the realm of possibility that we could just be a thing that the universe did.
Yeah. Okay. I understand what you're saying. So this is literally just two conclusions. You're not a stubborn atheist that God doesn't make any sense because this and this and this. So
I try not to be.
A possibility. Yeah. I like your viewpoint there. I know it's near the end of the stream, but can I ask you about how you feel about evolution? Because I was thinking the other day, right? I was watching this movie called The Wild Robot. I was with my girlfriend. It was goated movie, right? But then I was just looking at the beaver. I'm like, why is there a creature that has evolved to eat trees, that makes a dam, that completely affects the entire ecosystem?
Yeah.
That's like such a specific thing, you know? Or like that was the most optimal way to survive. Or a koala. How are koalas alive to this day?
Yeah.
So something shocked me. I do believe that interspecies evolution exists, but I don't think like something can develop from like, okay, I had gills at one point, and now, well, my years and years down the line off of mutations, I had gills at one point. Like, I mutated to start sweating.
Yeah.
That's just, it's so niche. And then apparently that was a better survival thing. But how did anything get you to sweat? Like, what cells to get you that far?
It's definitely a weird thing. But an important thing to note when it comes to evolution is it's not necessarily this survival of the best or whatever works best. It's more of just kind of whatever. If you're able to reproduce and pass on your genetics, evolution happens. So there are a lot of animals that you look at, it's like, what am I looking at? How are you alive? Because it worked. Because it's able to have kids, and those kids are able to grow up, and that's about it. That's about all that evolution needs, is just reproduction. And with the changes over time, it sounds crazy, especially when you realize how so tiny the changes are over time. But then take that over millions and millions and millions of years throughout life. I mean, Earth's been around for, I think, what, 4.5 billion years, and not too terribly, relatively speaking, long after that, we started having life. So from there to here, possibly billions of years, minute, tiny changes add up significantly. And you can, because I mean, you can travel a marathon. You can do a marathon at a walking pace. It's going to take you a while, but you can beat the marathon. You can, if you can live forever, if you can live a million years, you could you could beat a marathon by taking a step a year or something like that. And that's kind of what evolution comes down to. It's every little inch changes something, and it's not necessarily working towards something or what survives, not necessarily what survives best, but what, it kind of is what survives best, but what works. And typically the things, animals, whatever you want to call them, animals, plants, the living thing in question, because when we reproduce, we don't produce perfect copies. During the copying and the changing and the shifting of our DNA, things get changed and be weirdified, and some of those changes are better for the individual, some of them are worse, some of them are just kind of eh. So there could be traits passed down that give you even the slightest advantage. Like you can run in infinitely, like infinitesimally smaller amount, a smaller amount. I don't know how to say that. You can run just barely faster than the next guy, but that still gives you a slightly advantage, and that is going to give you more of a chance of reproducing and passing down your genetics. Now, not everyone with the advantageous genetics are going to be able to live forever and pass on their genetics, just like not everyone with the not so great genetics is going to not be able to have kids. But overall, more often than not, in a giant population over the course of millions of years, these certain traits are going to win out over other traits. So you're going to have slight pushes in different directions. And it's, again, there's no end goal. So like, yeah, we had gills and we were fish and we were able to just make minute changes, and some of them, because it branches out, multiple species of animals have similar ancestors and the same ancestors. So some stayed as fish, some branched out and became this or that or a human. And it's just those minute changes of it's just things reproducing and passing down genetics in those tiny changes.
I mean, for me, when I hear that, I can only think of like interspecies. Like, okay, this person grows nails a little faster than the other person, and maybe that's where claws can come from. But then I get to like something from, lungs to gills, right? How does a mutation, like, I don't know how minuscule a mutation can be, and I don't know how the heck that mutation goes into developing gills over time. Like, I just want you to think, let's say I'm a mammal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, they all started as a fish. I'm a fish, and this fish, all the fish keep dying, and it's not looking too hot for my fish species. So it's like, okay, well, it's not working for my generation in the water. Maybe over millions of years, we'll find our way out of the water. My question is, how do you get to that middle ground of developing lungs and then being in the water and developing lungs? Where do those cells come from that can turn water into, take that water and turn into oxygen in your body? Where is that middle ground of going into the water and out of the water? I mean, we have amphibians, but, that's what we've always seen with amphibians. We don't know where the cross-developmental stages of those evolutions are. Like the cross-species is, where the middle stages. We haven't seen any bones for them, and it's just it's hard to wrap your head around that idea. And there's like the monkeys. What are they called? Neanderthals. The Neanderthals, right? And it's like that makes more sense because that's more of like an interspecies. There's enough relation between those two species, but going from fish to like an insect or fish to a mammal, it's just it's super in depth.
Well, we do have to be careful with this line of thinking of I need to get out of the ocean, because evolution doesn't have like an end goal or a purpose. Like the fish don't need to get out of the ocean.
Fire on my table?
A lot of the times, what it comes down to is some fish might find some insects closer to shore, or that stay on the surface, or something like that, or some reason to keep going to shore. Or maybe the fish that puts its eggs in shallower water has a better chance of those eggs not being eaten by other fish, so they get shallower and shallower and shallower and are able to go move up. Or in other food that's on land, those who are able to get that extra food on land might have a better chance at surviving. So if there is a DNA trait, a DNA change that makes you maybe slightly able to hold your breath a little bit longer, or slightly more tolerable of the surface, that tips that needle ever so slightly. And it does seem absolutely crazy going gills to lungs, fish to humans, stuff like this. But we are talking about, you know, millions and millions and millions of years. If you live forever, if you, go at a walking pace, you could probably get very, 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 very far in a million years. So much further than you could imagine, even if you're just taking it one step at a time. So it's tiny, weird changes, but it's over a long period of time, and it's just what works. It could be as simple as this population found this bug that it liked, and that worked better for them. Penguins evolved to swim better because most of their food was the fish in the sea. And so more and more, the fish that was able to withstand the water better than others got more fish and ate more and was able to live better and longer and stronger and have more kids.
Like I said, that still stays within the interspecies. Like penguins are still birds,
Yes,
right?
but with the
Millions and millions of years.
millions of years, those tiny changes over time could add up.
Well, we do have evidence of. I'm reading comments real quick. We do have evidence of animals adapting to their environment, and they have. Darwin, I've read that. Funny story. I read that book in I think middle school, and my dog ate part of it. Read a book about it. It was called Defeating Darwinism. I grew up homeschooled, Christian, everything. I wasn't really Christian until I got to college. But anyway, I've heard all about Darwinism, but that only explains the interspecies, right? The thing is I can understand a mammal going to become a dolphin, right? Like you have webs on your fingers, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe that's helped you swim better, and that has helped those people survived and reproduced, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that would only explain me becoming a dolphin. Something that's so in depth, like lungs and gills, so very, very different, right? How does a body just mutate a cell that can take oxygen out of water, and instead of having lungs, that you take oxygen out of air? How does that crossover ever happen? We don't have any scientific evidence of that cross species, that stage in between of going from, okay, I'm walking on the ground and now I'm in the water, or I'm in the water and now I'm walking on the ground. Does that make sense? I just haven't seen any evidence for the cross species. Interspecies, yeah. I think a dolphin over millions and millions of years might develop legs. I don't know. But the cross species, I have a hard time wrapping my head around.
Yeah, sorry it took me a second to respond there. My phone started dying, and it was like, I'm like, oh, I'll just plug it in, and then I got a 20% battery notification, so I plugged it in, and then I got a 10% battery notification. So it was like, my plugin's not plugged in. So I did hear everything you said, but there was a pause where I didn't respond there because I was trying to plug my stuff in.
Or else the stream will die.
Or else the stream will die. But we do have transitional fossils. We have quite a few, including Tiktaalik, this kind of middle ground between fish and land-dwelling animal. We have, I think they're called vestigial structures that are similar throughout various animals, birds, fish, whatever else, that show some commonality or ways in which this bone may have been changed and now is used as this purpose when it was used as this purpose before. So we do have some evidence for that. I'm not a biologist, so I'm not the best person to really go into the specifics of that. But we do have that evidence of that stuff going over time.
Like a name of one of those animals that were in like the developmental stages?
Tiktaalik is one of the famous ones.
How do you spell it?
Tiktaalik. Let me attempt to type it in before I give you an answer.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. fancy word.
I think it's just. I think it's just.
That's tectonic plates.
Oh, it is not spelled simply at all.
Ooh,
It
that's
is
fun.
TIKTAALIK.
Ah, found it.
It is not spelled simply at all. I thought I could just try to like sound it out. No. I mean, it got me there. Google knew what I was trying to say.
Okay. So we have the tectonic, right?
Yes.
This, did it breathe through its skin? Do we know it had gills? Do we know it had lungs?
I don't know all of that off the top of my head. I do know it is one of many transitional fossils. I don't have any of the others memorized. That might just be something that we both need to do research on another time.
I'll probably take a look. I will be a returning customer, by the way.
I hope so. You seem you're pleasant to talk to. I would also recommend, if you want to learn more about biology, I don't know if you've heard of Forrest Valkai.
Yeah, I gotta take biology next year. Not excited for that.
I didn't do well in biology at all.
I'm
But
a math guy.
Forrest Valkai is a content creator who is a biologist and an atheist. So you might have to sit through some of his, speaking out against Christianity spiels. But he is a good biologist who knows what he's talking about. And he does a lot of videos talking about evolution and how it works and the evidence for it. He has a 4-part series called The Light of Evolution, where he really dumbs down, breaks down a good crash course in evolution, which is a great place to start if you're trying to learn evolution. He can explain it infinitely better than I can. So if you want to learn more about evolution and try to understand it more, you might just look him up.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do that. I'm just about to hop on and do some research. Another time I'd like to discuss just like the statistical and probability of something like the Bible. Because I mean, the standpoint, we're at a standstill about, I can't prove that there is a God. It's just because you say we can't see far back enough. We're just seeing from what we see,
Sure. And we just don't have evidence
God,
of anything like that existing. So like I can't say that Mark did the murder if I don't know that Mark exists.
Evidence. Yeah. It's what you consider evidence. So like, for example, my evidence is everything is created by something, right? It's a constant we know. 2 + 2 is 4, right? You might say that's just a simply observational, but again, it's what I observe, and then I go to a belief here, right? And I believe a God created everything, is above that law that we understand, and that it keeps it from God created, God created, God created, God, right? And also, why is all these civilizations created a God? Maybe it's just because they needed something to believe in, but a God with omnipresence, okay, where does omniscience come from? Just the thought of omniscience, or a color we've never seen before. Like, can you think of a brand new color? It's just impossible. I mean, you're colorblind, so you don't see the colors I see. Sorry, didn't mean to throw that one out there.
You're okay.
But you said that there is no evidence for a God, but then there's all these religions that people believe there is a God, and that comes from something. Again, it might come from a need, but there can be hundreds of explanations.
So in that last bit,
that makes sense.
Yeah, in that last bit, you brought up like 3 great talking points that I would love to sit and discuss in future live streams. So definitely hold on to those. And as far as like convincing and whatnot, that's not what I'm here for necessarily, to convince you that I'm right or vice versa. Just more sharing ideas. I think the water instantly becomes muddied and the whole thing becomes problematic when you start a conversation with the intention of winning. Obviously, you're going to have back and forth. Yeah. Obviously, you're trying to advocate for your idea. But I think just the sitting down at the same table and exchanging ideas is the important part. Like, you didn't convince me, I didn't convince you, but we both walk away with more information about the general topic. And I think, therefore, it's it's a positive overall.
I mean, I didn't come to a lot of conclusions in my life without discussion with other people. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's completely right. There's a lot of back and forth with my philosophy professor. My philosophy professor is really funny. Dr. Wong, right? Go give him a look at Georgia Southern University. Dr. Wong, you will never know what Dr. Wong actually believes. He will not tell you. He will just always, no matter what you say to him, he's gonna say the opposite. And he's like, well, think this way, think this way. And somebody like that's really good at developing your mind.
Philosophy professors are fun like that. I had a college professor who
Oh,
was
yeah.
a lot like that. He just like they're just good. They're just good to have around overall.
Yeah, I couldn't get a read on him. It was ridiculous, but
Right.
I still talk to him a little bit to this day. But I had a great conversation with you. I'm sure you'll see me in the future randomly, but and I look forward to other Discord conversations with other people, not just me.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being the first Discord
Oh, the
talk.
first? Oh, what an honor.
Yeah, you were the first, and it went beautifully. I think this is a good precedent to set. I think this is how if all of my future Discord talks on the live streams for the rest of eternity go this well, it'll be beautiful. They won't, but it would be great if they
Yeah,
could.
definitely not.
So thank you for being
hear a
here.
lot of
Thank you for
slurs.
being that. And yes, I definitely hope to speak with you again.
All right, well, I'll see you in the future. You have a great night, Drew.
You have a good night. Thank you. All right. So yeah, successful first Discord talk.
That worked beautifully.
It worked beautifully. You guys could hear him. And he was just a good person to talk to. We didn't talk over each other too much. I think most of the time when we talked over each other was mostly delay stuff, which what can you do? But yeah, it was great. Sharing ideas, bouncing back and forth, letting the other person talk. It was genuinely pleasant. So hopefully other talks are like that. They won't be. I plan on continuing to do these live streams and this Discord stuff well into the future. And I know I'm not going to make it too terribly far without having less desirable folks. Which, I mean, Eric set the bar pretty high, so I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will be less desirable. But, yeah. So thank you all for being here. Thank you again, Eric, for being you and being a wonderful guest. Thank you all for tuning in. All of the views, likes, subscribes, whatever else you did. Just anyone giving me 2 seconds of their time means a lot to me. I'm a random nobody on the internet. So even if somebody just stopped by for 2 seconds, that's amazing. Especially more so people who stick around and interact and all of that stuff. So thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope to see you in future streams. I usually go live every Tuesday night at about 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll see if I see you there. So thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing rest of your night, day, whenever you're watching this.